Hi guys, it's me Arden Lee, and in today's video I want to talk about what happens when someone is in so much pain that they seem like they don't want our help. This topic came up a little bit in the last video that I did, and it's important enough that I want to give it its own video. What I have noticed is that there are times when we, or people around us, are in so much pain regarding their trauma, regarding the hardships that they've been through or are currently going through, that they really seem like they don't want our help. And in almost every case of this that I've witnessed, including my own, what I believe is the underlying factor is that their pain has not yet been witnessed and acknowledged. I think it's funny how, from the other side, sometimes we feel like we can see people's potential in front of them. We feel like, oh, if you just did this, this, and this, you'd have everything fixed. And not only can they not see that, they don't even want to hear it. And we really can't blame them, because essentially what they're saying, especially when they, this has happened a couple different times, but one I'm thinking of in particular, there was someone who essentially was saying, what if it never gets better? Everyone always loves to say things are going to get better, but what if it's just like this for the rest of my life? And we sort of see that line of thought or philosophy echoed in a lot of different ways, right? What if it never gets better? What if it's always like this? What if I'm always in this pain? Or there's no use because the whole world is fucked up. There's no use because everyone's an asshole. Those were some of mine. Because what's happening in that moment is that we've tried everything. We really feel that we've exhausted our resources and nothing is helping. And so for someone who's maybe a stranger or an outsider, or even just someone who we feel doesn't know us or know our pain as well as we know it ourselves, when they step in and they're like, oh, but you have a great future ahead of you. Fuck you. You don't know my life. And I think that whenever this happens, it's really because I think even when we make those hyperbolic statements like nothing is ever going to get better, I'm going to live with this for the rest of my life, they feel true in the moment. Depending on how connected we are to our higher self, we may even know that it's not true, but we say it anyway, because it's when we're saying that, what we're actually saying is the depth and intensity of my pain in this current moment is so strong and so deep that I can't even imagine a way out. And for you to ask me to imagine a way out is for you to not see how much pain I'm in right now, that I need for someone to understand. If you knew how much pain I was in, you wouldn't be bringing this bullshit about how great my future is going to be, because you don't know my life. It's a tough spot to be in. Trust me, I remember. And being on the other side of it now, certainly wasn't true, right? Things did get better because I chose for them to get better. But I had to have a moment several moments actually, these moments happened in layers, But I really had to come to an understanding that if I wanted things to get better, then I had to choose for them to get better. And what that meant was I had to admit that I knew nothing about how the world worked. Because really, when we're in that much pain and we're saying it's never going to get better, it's always going to be this awful, a lot of times what that is coming from is from the fact that, according to us, we've tried everything already. The trouble is, we actually haven't tried everything. We've tried everything that we understand in the program that put us in that situation in the first place. For me, for example, it was, I can't ever imagine my relationships getting better because I am doing everything I possibly know how to do to be pleasing. Think about that. There I am on my hamster wheel of saying, I'm trying to be the best. I'm trying to be physically attractive, sexually desirable, emotionally supportive, smart, all of these things that we're told in theory that someone might want in a romantic partner. And my frustration saying things are never going to get better was essentially me saying, like, I'm doing all of those things. I'm doing everything that with my own limited knowledge I know how to do at this point, and it's still not working. And there are a ton of programs that we all run around with thinking that they're going to work. If I just make more money, I'll be happier. If I just, right? And it doesn't work that way. So oftentimes, when someone is stuck in that program and says, I have no hope, I think that things are probably never going to get better. The thing that someone needs most in that moment, I believe, is an acknowledgement of how hard they've tried, and also for their pain to be witnessed and understood. I often say, for every coach or facilitator, there are always certain prerequisites to making sure that that's a good coaching relationship. And for me, in order to work with me, someone has to want to get better. Even if they don't know what that looks like yet, they have to be willing to suspend their disbelief and take that leap of faith forward and start seeing those results. If you follow the process, the results will come. If you do the steps, the results will happen. Not everyone is necessarily ready for that yet, because they might still need their pain witnessed and acknowledged. I know that I certainly did. And I got pretty mad, honestly. I got pretty mad at a lot of people during that process, perhaps rightfully so, because as we've seen in the past couple of years, the amount of pain and trauma that has been buried under the rug, especially in this society for such a long amount of time, so much of it was unearthed. There were so many times, during Me Too, during the whole thing, I was like, you see, you guys, I wasn't making this up. This is real. This is not about, I just have to own my energy better. Although, of course, the irony was, in the end, yeah, I did have to own my energy better. That was a big part of it. But it wasn't going to work by bypassing everything that had actually happened to me and just pretending that me being depressed is just, I just need to do, no. There's reasons. There are reasons why we get there. you know? And yeah, sometimes I believe that's what people are really saying when they're saying, I have no hope. What they're really saying is, my pain feels so intense right now, and I feel like I'm at the end of my rope, that I've tried everything that I know how to do. It's funny because, of course, if I had known how to do what I know how to do now, I could have done it a lot sooner. But it was really necessary for me to get to the end of my rope, because I really had to know that what I was doing wasn't working. You know, I think it's really funny. I look back at my past, and here I am trying to solve this core wound around relationships and love and worthiness and being loved and accepting love in my life and creating a relationship that is healthy and that is based in true love. And it's so funny because this society is so fucked up and so backwards that I did everything completely the opposite. You know, I worked on my physical appearance. I worked on my sort of like lover credentials, you know. I did everything to prove that I was worthy. And the very energy of spending my energy proving that I'm worthy was exactly what was keeping me out of being able to receive love exactly as I am. Isn't that funny? Isn't that the great cosmic joke of things, right? But if you're in that place where you feel like you've tried everything and it just isn't working, then yeah, we can't bypass that pain, you know? It has to be released first. It has to be witnessed. If you're in that place where everything feels like it's on fire, man, you know, if you finally get a chance to sit down with someone, whether it's a facilitator or a therapist or a good friend, and you have an opportunity to talk through everything that happened to you, and say, this is why I feel this way. And just have someone be like, wow, yeah, that's fucked up. I'd feel the same way too, right? It's an amazingly healing experience. And sometimes that's exactly the thing that we need to find hope. Just to be witnessed and just to understand that there is a reason that we feel the way that we do right now. Thank you. Fucking thank you. Yes, of course I fucking feel this way. Okay. Now what's next? Would you like to feel better? If you could. Yes, obviously. All right. When you're ready, there are things you can do. But obviously someone feels hopeless if they've been trying everything that they know how to do for their entire lives and it hasn't been working. Of course someone's going to feel that way. Sometimes I think the greatest healing that happens in the repatterning project is showing the process of how our beliefs and habits and everything that we think about the world forms through our experiences. Through our experiences then being filtered through the operating system of our brains and bodies, and our brains and bodies making up stories and if-then statements about all of those experiences and how all of that functions. And when we see the way that that functions, we have this opportunity where we're like, oh, well, no wonder. No wonder. Now that I know, what do I do? Right? How do I keep that from continuing to happen? So, yeah, but that step is really crucial. If someone is not ready yet to let go of their pain, in my experience, It's because it has not been witnessed and understood. You can't just bypass all of that and expect to just jump right into feeling better. And that in itself can take time. But if that's where you are, that's where someone that you know is at, then maybe that's the best thing, right? All right, thank you guys. I appreciate you. I'll see you next time.